Hello, my name is John Everett here with Cole Hunt, my studio partner. Here at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee's School of Architecture and Urban Planning, we have been part of the Heavy plus Light Spancrete-sponsored studio this past semester. The goal for the semester was to create a modular precast system to handle the elements and to adapt to any program.
Our starting charrette, we were tasked with creating a modular system that had a set of rules that would define the space. Working separately, we had very different approaches. On the left is John's idea of concrete apertures that would open and close to create a flow of space in compression and expansion. On the right, my rule was to have every piece connect on faces to form a variety of spaces on all of the same grid. I also used a plan-like approach to work in unison with John's compression expansion method in section.
This charrette was then ported into digital space for further exploration without the burden of casting. We ultimately chose the pattern on the far left for the central form of the building, while maintaining the method of blocking out a grid in the right image for moving laterally across the grain of the waves.
Geometry was extracted from our charrettes that could be feasible precast elements. The repeatability of our pattern meant for repeatability of molds and left us only needing 3 unique precast spancrete pieces to create the entire aggregation. The pieces are very large and oddly shaped, but spancrete assured us that they can be casted and transported to the site.
To cut across the grain of our system, we needed to open up our walls. Simply by blocking out the molds for the full walls, we could cast railing walls as well as columns for whatever our programmatic needs would be. We have some casting photos on our right that use these methods at a much smaller scale for our quarter-inch models.
Our models showed us the capability of our system in creating views through the building in section. We also discovered the elegance of our skylights created by seams in our system that would wash up and down the wall throughout the day. Light was not the only element that our system could handle. The entire roof is also a bioswale that filters rainwater to flow right back into the environment through a pipe that runs the length of the building.
Ease of assembly is necessary for precast to go up smoothly, and this took priority when it came to detailing out the building. Detail A, our skylight, is tucked back from the edge of the visible roof to create a glassless effect while using a standard barrel vaulted skylight assembly. Detail B is of the core of the roof member that shows our cast-in insulation with green roof layers on top that can be lowered onto the walls with coil rods to hold it in place. Detail C is a condition where the anchors and weld plates must be hidden between the walls to maintain a smooth open story. It assembles left to right so the welder can access the assembly. The floor plate is a straight cut hollow core slab with a pour over to maintain the curve of the walls. And to offset the curve from the wall is a steel channel that can hold a variety of accent lighting. Detail D is the condition when both walls are open story and all anchors and weld plates must be hidden. Simply lowering the right wall onto a coil rod allows for that same left to right assembly. And finally, Detail E uses the same system of anchors and weld plates to hold the entire building to the foundation.
Now that we had a system that could adapt to the elements into a variety of programs, it was time for the real deal. A multi-use building that consisted of a community center, commercial space, offices, and a kayak launch. We were given a corner site on Water Street in the historic Third Ward to fit our system into. There are 2 main entrances. From the south entrance, you walk into our atrium with commercial space on either side. On the lower floors, artificial lighting keeps it bright where our skylights cannot reach. Coming in from the east side of our building from Water Street, you can see the kayak space and make your way through the lobby and kayak storage to launch your boat on the north side into the Milwaukee River. You can also just sit out over the water and enjoy the view of historical Milwaukee. Taking the main stairs in the lobby, you'll find yourself in office space for incubating startups and other small businesses. The second floor is where our building shines in section. In select areas, you can see diagonally up to the third floor or back down to the first floor from the same area. This reveals the volume of our structure. Walking up to the third floor on the main stairs, you can find yourself looking through the entire atrium, as well as our community space. Once you walk through the community center, you arrive at the north end of our building and the best view on Water Street.
As you can see in this rendering, we have canopied all of our entrances with an aluminum cladding on space frames for shade and rain protection. The skin allows us to hide our insulation, reflect heat, and define the exterior walls both in shape and materiality change. Given all these design decisions, we successfully created a system that is capable of producing complex spaces by an uncomplicated means, as well as producing special grains with a sculptural approach to the system that formed them.